Hey everybody, and welcome back to Retro Magic. In this episode, we're talking about the best console of all time, the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis. Enjoy. And here we have it, Sega's first big success in the video game industry. I love this console up to this day. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering why I'm wearing this weird jacket, it's because of last episode's Master System games and the weird cover art. So I thought, well, this kind of fits. I don't know. If you haven't watched my video on the Master System yet, I'll put a link at the end of this video. But without further ado, let's have a look at the hardware of the Mega Drive, shall we? And here we are with the Sega Mega Drive. And let me say first that I'm gonna refer to this console as the Mega Drive because it's the original name of the console when it was released in Japan, and they just had to change the name for the North American market to Genesis because of copyright reasons. So for me, this is the Mega Drive. And once again, this is the Model 2 of the Mega Drive. And once again, I used to have a Model 1 back in the day, but I sold it, and I'll put up a picture of the Model 1 up there so you can compare. They got rid of the headphone jack that the Mega Drive 1 had, along with a volume controlled slider. I'm not so sure why they did that. Probably because the Model 1 Mega Drive used the same AV cords as the Master System, which only provided mono sound, and so did the Model 1 of the Mega Drive. But they changed quite a few things. With this model, it now has stereo sound, and that's probably the reason why they removed that. And I gotta say, I love this redesign of the console. I mean, this, in my opinion, looks so much better. It is more symmetrical, and it almost looks like a sports car. It is more flat and more. It just has a sleeker design and beautiful color scheme with the black and the red buttons. And let me show you how it looks when you turn on the console with the red lights in the middle here. I bet they got totally inspired by this TV show of the 80s, Knight Rider. It looks really, really nice. On the front, we have our typical two controller pods, the same shape as the ones on the Master System. And this time they went for better protection for the cartridge port, as you can see. Much nicer. On the right-hand side, we have the... Whoa, I'm sorry. Under this lid, we have the connector, the expansion connector, which was used on the Sega Mega CD. And hopefully I'm getting... Yeah. And if we turn the thing around, you can see that there's a little mounting hole. I never really understood what this was for. Probably also the Mega CD, I don't know. And then there is the connector for your power supply. They changed that. They changed the shape and the polarity and the voltage. So you have to have a power supply which suits the Mega Drive Model 2. And you also have your AV out here. Now you can see it. This is a mini DIN, a 9-pin mini DIN connector. RGB cables are still available on Amazon. I got mine from there, like, I don't know, half a year ago. So they're still available. All right, I haven't showed you yet how the games, the cartridges look like. They're considerably smaller than a Super Nintendo game. I remember back in the day, this was a bit weird to me because, you know, when you're a child, you think, oh, this cartridge is bigger, so the game also must be bigger. must be better. Psychological effect, one could say. Yeah, so you don't have an eject button. All you have is a power button and a reset button, and you remove the games just by pulling them out. I already showed you the controller for the Mega Drive in the last video, but here it is once again. And I really don't know up to this day what to think about this controller. It is not uncomfortable to hold, but but I was so used to my Super Nintendo controller that I had a hard time getting used to this one. And I would recommend that you're trying to find a Model 2 controller, no matter what Mega Drive you have, because they yeah they designed or they also did a redesign on the D-pad. It feels much better, and it has this pretty much the same pressure point as the action buttons. So on the other controller I have, it requires much more force to go into any direction as to push a button, and this feels a little strange. And I've seen all sorts of shapes of Mega Drive controllers, so if you have a Mega Drive, or grab one at the garage sale and take it home and try to play a game, and you think, the D-pad isn't great, it's not much fun, simply try to get a better controller, because this makes a whole lot of difference. And another thing, highly recommended, and I'm gonna make a whole video about this definitely, is this beautiful little thing. It's the M30 controller by 8-Bit Dough. It costs about 20 bucks, I don't know. This thing is absolutely fabulous. I've never ever in my entire life had a third-party controller which is that good. The D-pad feels great, all the action buttons feel great, and it also has the 6-button design. You know, compared to a Super Nintendo controller, I got one here, actually a Super Famicom controller, which had its 4 action buttons, L and R button, and start and select, and many games used pretty much all of those buttons. I believe Secret of Mana and definitely Street Fighter 2. You needed that amount of buttons back in the day. And yeah, the Mega Drive pad was always a bit limited because of that, especially when the bigger and better fighting games were coming out. And so they released a 6-button controller along with Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. And these are a little hard to combine nowadays. So I would totally recommend this controller because it is wireless. You will need a Wi-Fi dongle, which is, I think, sold separately, but sometimes also as a package. And it works fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I'm making a video of this in the future, and it definitely works much, much better than those wireless controller from back in the 90s, which were using infrared. So no, never get any of those off eBay or something like that, because it's horrible. Okay, so let's have a look at the games. All right, the games. Well, this is a whole different story than in the case of the Master System. The Mega Drive's library is huge compared to the one of the Master System, and there are so many great titles, which is the reason why the system became, for Sega, the first big success. Unfortunately, I don't have many games in their original packaging, but I have an older one. So in the beginning, just to show you, they went once again with this ugly design down here, just like on the Master System. Yeah, impossible to see right now, but you get the idea. Fortunately, they changed the cover art later on, but they were still using those plastic boxes, which is great. You can find many games. complete with box and manual. Great thing. As for the games itself, you can find something in each and every genre you're looking for. You got RPGs, you got action adventures, you got fighting games, you got very good arcade conversions, great action adventures were Landstalker or Soleil, definitely Soleil, as well as role-playing games like the Phantasy Star series, or great platformers like Aladdin and the Sonic games, and you don't even know where to stop. So I will definitely put up a video in the future with some recommendations, some games which I think are totally worth purchasing, not just the big names that everybody knows, but maybe a few a little more unknown but still great games. And so, without further ado, let's have a little first impression to what Mega Drive games look like, shall we? Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like the video, you know, like and subscribe if you want to see more videos of me. Not actually of me, but of those consoles that we all do love. And yeah, Leave me a commentary down below if you think that I forgot something important, and also if you think there are things that I can do better in the future. Feedback is always quite helpful, as you know. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.